Oh,
wow.
Let's check in now. We have Costaki Economopoulos
He looks
joining
like
us.
somebody.
In a Bob and Tom hoodie. Is that what that is?
Yeah.
that's what that is. Yeah.
That matches your beard.
And then,
Yeah, it sure does.
Actually.
Salt and pepper beard. Wow.
This is Jack London.
We need to point out that Costaki recently freed from...
Marital constraints?
Yeah, he's a man on the hunt with a box of condoms and...
That's right. You think sex is fun. Have you tried not thinking about Valentine's Day for even 1 second? Oh, it's so nice.
What is it about divorce that makes men experiment with facial hair? Because, Dad, you got the goatee. Costaki, you're growing the beard out. Chick, I remember you changed the goatee at that point, too.
I went for
Is
the
that
whole
just
beard.
a new man, new me kind of thing?
Well, maybe because the
Probably.
woman wouldn't allow you to do it.
No, I don't think it's that.
Nobody chasing you around.
Yeah.
I think it's just something different.
Really?
I don't know. I mean, it would depend. Did your former lover, wife, did she was she critical of the facial hair?
I don't remember that being a thing. But growing a beard is one of the only things you can do by doing less. You know, you like,
Yes.
right? Like, what'd you do today? I wrote a few jokes and I grew my beard. You know, you can add it to your list of things you're accomplishing.
Looks good, man. Do you like it?
I don't know. I don't think it's for good, but it's a fun experiment for a few weeks. I had no gigs. I'm like, let's let it go for a minute.
Yeah,
It's
good for
fun.
you.
You look like a sociology professor that hits on all the freshman girls. Does that make sense?
That's fair.
He's not wrong.
My dad was a sociology professor.
Oh, that's crazy.
And when I was a teaching assistant way back in the day, I taught classes when I was a grad student, and I talked to my dad about it. And he gave me this little speech about always leaving the door open and worrying about, he was like, be careful when you meet with students. You don't want any untoward. And I had a very strict rule because I was young. I was 23 and my students were 19, 20, 21, So I had a very strict rule that I was not going to date anybody who was in my class until after the class. That was my rule, right? And of course, it never came up. It was a non-issue.
Very easy to stand your ground.
But I did have the rule. I have a very strict rule. You want to.
Very nice. Costaki Economopoulos is our NFL correspondent. He's also a very fine stand-up comedian. And Costaki does have some gigs coming up. You're going to be in Mahomet, Illinois at Yellow and Company, Tuesday, February 17th, Wednesday, February 18th at the Strand Theater in Shelbyville, Indiana. Then Lexington, Kentucky, Thursday, the 19th, at the Blue Stallion Brewing Company. That'll be a blast. And then April 20th through the 22nd, the Comedy Showcase in Ann Arbor, Michigan. Some of the gigs coming up for Costaki Economopoulos. And Costaki, a couple of big games, obviously, over the weekend. Your thoughts?
Yeah. Cincinnati really needs to work on their fifth down defense. So we had some weird referee moments in this game. That game had worse officiating than a Vegas drive-through wedding. At least at the wedding booth, both participants get screwed, not just one. It's not often you get to see some zebras screw some tigers, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Parallel development.
Yes.
It's a revenge game, yeah. There were some bad calls, is all I'm saying. Miss Cleo made fewer iffy calls.
You remember Miss Cleo?
Yeah, the television psychic.
Yes, of course.
She was eventually shamed.
There's a
and then-
documentary out there about her.
And she died, but she didn't see that coming.
Or maybe she did and kept her mouth shut.
Is this a good time to interrupt? Is this a good time to interrupt with a few celebrity deaths?
No.
Yeah, sure.
What? What is that about?
Did you see where Wednesday from the Addams Family passed away?
Yeah,
The original.
Right?
Lisa Loring, who played
Yes.
Wednesday in the original Addams Family sitcom in the 60s, died over the weekend. She was 64. But what's kind of odd is currently there is a hugely successful
Oh, Wednesday's great on
show called Wednesday.
Yeah.
And it's
I've watched it with my 14-year-old.
It's Harry Potter-ish, kind of.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's Wednesday
It's not
goes
my
to this
cup of tea,
goes
but-
to
Oh,
the
I
school.
enjoy it.
Yeah, I have a 10-year-old daughter that's watched it literally the whole series 4 times.
Cool.
Oh, wow.
My kids like it too, and they're in their 20s, so.
And it's made by the guy that what's his name?
Didn't Burton have something?
Tim Burton. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
it's
but
very stylized. Yeah.
yeah, but they're trying to do Harry Potter basically.
Kind of, yeah.
A little soap opera. But now Costaki, Oh,
We can
let's
go to
get
the other
back.
game.
Okay,
We had 2
please.
games, right?
Yeah.
So the other game, the Eagles.
Yeah,
Eagles had
unless
this
you want to
game
add something. Hang on, Costaki. Unless you want to talk about anything else but talk to
Yeah.
What
Costaki.
a
You are the
baffling
greatest.
interruption.
Bobby Hull died. You know, we got to.
Bobby
Yeah.
Hull died, but he doesn't want to talk about that.
No, that's fine.
We've
Too
already-
boring.
Too boring.
Bobby Hull,
Exactly.
very
Yes.
boring. We've already,
that's because
already been through that. Yeah.
Costaki, they were objecting to my discussion about another obituary we had this morning. One of the great songwriters.
$10 if you can tell me that guy's name without
Without looking.
Bennett Cerf.
Wrong.
No.
Bennett Strong.
Barrett.
I know.
Barrett.
Barrett Strong.
I was wrong too. See? My point.
Yeah. But we talked about him for 10 minutes, but Bobby Hull.
That's because he's one of
nothing.
those background guys that wrote, for example, this great song of Costaki. I'm sure you've heard this classic.
It's called Drum Roll.
Everybody, come on now.
Absolutely nothing.
Say it again now. Sorry.
I prefer Lowrider.
That is one of the all-time. That's one of the all-time great yeahs in music.
Oh, it's terrific.
When he says "war" for the first time, and yeah.
You know, we could do a whole, maybe an
Holy hell.
album of great Yaz and rock and roll.
Yeah, why don't you-
We'll call it Smooth Yaz.
Why don't you look on that now?
Hi, Dean.
Costaki will just sit there. Yeah.
That was awesome.
Are we going to have yeses or just Yaz?
I think just Yaz.
Yes.
Like, she loves you, yeah.
Let's
Those are
talk
Yaz.
about it. Yeah, let's get into it.
Now, we can't do anything from the band, the Yaz, because they don't sing.
What about the band Yes?
Nope. That's
No, that's a yes on a yeah.
Son of a
Wasn't
gun.
Todd Rundgren in a band called Yaz?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there you go. There
What
you
was
go.
their big hit?
There we go.
No, Naz was it?
Or was it Naz?
Oh, that's
Sorry.
Little Naz.
Oh, wasn't Yaz a restaurant? Oh, that's Yats. Sorry.
How you haven't hung up, Costaki?
I would just be gone.
He wrote
Literally
jokes for
rewriting the
this.
next joke.
I'm
live.
so
It's like
sorry.
5 a.m. where he is.
Yeah.
He got coffee.
edited
He had to get his
down the
parking
words.
validated.
He's trying to
Yeah.
grow his beard. Let the man, let the man
accomplishing
grow.
something.
I'm sorry, Costaki.
Yeah, we got to talk about Eagles crushing the Niners. That was the other game. The Eagles had this game in hand so long, Louis C.K. was jealous. See, that's a long time in the hand.
Masturbation.
He's probably also had a stress injury to his elbow at some point. Broke Purdy. The Niners got to their 5th string quarterback in this game. Their quarterbacks get hurt more than the millennials' feelings.
Stocky, that's not funny. Mean, rude.
In the quarterback department, the Niners started the game with the backup to the backup. Then their backup got hurt, and they had to call in the backup. Then that backup got really hurt, and they had to bring in the less hurt prior backup. I was worried they were going to call me into the game. It was crazy.
Hey, Costaki, to interrupt your flow once again.
Can I talk about Stranger Things this time?
No. What is when could they have had a new guy join the team? At what point can you no longer add anybody? If you're a team and you're going into the game, they couldn't hire a new quarterback. What is the deadline?
This game has instigated a conversation about this. In the old days, they would have a third quarterback, and most teams don't do that anymore. Now they just have an emergency third. In this case, apparently it was Christian McCaffrey would be the next quarterback. So it's kind of an interesting situation. I mean, they're definitely going to need to add some handicap parking outside the Niners quarterback room.
But wouldn't it be a smart idea to
There's
allow
something
them?
called a playoff roster that has to be set before the playoffs begin.
That was right. That's what I was curious about.
So Trey was hurt. Jimmy was hurt. Brock
I think
was
we
hurt.
covered
Josh
that
was
a
hurt.
couple days ago.
I just wanted to get
Jalen was the
opinion
only
of
one who
Costaki.
wasn't hurt.
Yeah.
And his name is Hurts. The game had more hurt than an Adele song. It was ridiculous.
She's been through some things.
Love hurts.
Really felt it.
The Niners didn't have a single good, healthy quarterback, or as the Falcons call that, Sunday. Their play calls were like me playing vibrating football. It's like, all right, we're running to the left, we're running to the right, we're running up the middle. All right, those are the 3 choices. Brock Purdy was replaced by Josh Johnson, which sounds like one of those T-shirts from the 80s or something. When you break your Brock, you better have a big Johnson. Johnson's been around forever, but he's gotten very little action. I can sympathize with that. This is his 13th different team, Josh Johnson. At some point, are you an NFL player or just like a really savvy jersey collector?
By the way,
game
how's he
was
doing?
ugly.
Did they said? Did he He hit his head
he went
hard.
concussion protocol. I haven't heard because, now that team's out of it, so we don't get the news anymore. They're not required to report on what's going on with them. That game was ugly, except in Philly, where it's considered attractive. The game in Philly was so bad, batteries started throwing themselves on the field. All right, I want to touch briefly on this other subject. It just made me giggle. The Bucs need an offensive coordinator, and they requested an interview with Jim Bob Cooter. Remember this guy?
Sure.
If you wrote a character's name in Dukes of Hazzard and you made it Jim Bob Cooter, you would get a note from the producer like, this is a little too on the nose.
Yes. This makes Pussy Galore look like a good idea.
Right. I'm trying to think of a more country name. I'm stumped. Like maybe Billy Joe Skeeter or Bubba Gump Johnson. Something. Steve Earl, Confederate flag, maybe.
Billy Bob Snatch, something subtle.
Yes.
Okay.
Billy Meth, NASCAR Jr. Here's one that's more country. Jim Bob's Mom's Cooter. See, that's a little Dick Trickle. That's more country.
Yeah,
that is.
His brother Daryl and his other brother Daryl. Possum Etouffee.
That's very country.
His brother Scooter Cooter. Someone reminded me that Bob Cavoyan has talked about this in the past, and he pointed out that, of course, his real name is James Robert Vagina.
Oh, okay.
Bob Cooter. And I was also reminded that Tim Wilson had a whole song. Dale, Daryl, Waltrip, Richard Petty, Rusty, Awesome, Bill, Irvin, Gordon, Earnhardt Smith, Johnson Jr.
Yes, that's
classic.
right.
Yeah. Even Cooter from Dukes of Hazzard was named Cooter Davenport, which,
Is that right? Huh.
which
Is
is
that a Cooter
country,
couch?
but it doesn't hold a candle to Jim Bob Cooter. By the way, hold a candle to is how you read something at night in the country. If you can read, Next to Jim Bob Cooter, Cooter Davenport sounds like British royalty. What are you doing? Jim Bob Cooter. You're not a regular on Hee Haw. Change your name. It's ridiculous.
He's pretty fired up about this.
Yeah.
Now, did you
told me to
ever?
change my name.
Now, I assume that with your background in the Greek Orthodox Church, you're familiar with the Bible. Is that part of your thing over there? Yeah. Do they? Have you ever?
Yes, it was a Christian religion, Tom.
It was okay. Just asking.
Nobody asked a question like that.
Because I'm sure you're familiar, although not in the last few years. I know you've been kind of celibate, but Deuteronomy, my favorite book in the Bible. Of course,
celibate.
the Vagina Bible by
boy.
Dr. Snatchel Page. No, that wasn't her name. What was her name again?
Jen Gunter.
Jen Gunter.
Please.
Okay.
She's off to respect.
Okay, sorry. A lot of callbacks there.
For who?
We finally got rid of Tom Brady, maybe for good. Now everywhere I go, I see these ads, 80 for Brady. Please go away. Oh. What is the elevator pitch for this movie? Golden Girls meets planes, trains, and automobiles, but like draft day? Who wants to see this? I don't understand.
I'm probably going to see it in theaters, Costaki. I think it'll be a really good time.
Oh, I do.
You think
Even
so?
Tom Brady's groupies are old as hell.
I know, but it'll still be fun. I love Sally Field. Who doesn't love those women?
I like a buddy road trip movie, which is basically what this
Right.
is. Right. The
What's it
premise.
called? The NFL goes to Hanoi? What is it again?
No, it's 80 for Brady.
Wow. There's the reference you're going to have to
D-Weed.
unwind for everybody.
I think if you asked a Vietnam vet about Jane Fonda and her connection with Hanoi, he wouldn't know. You're the only one who brings this up every single time.
Sorry. Read your history, ladies and gentlemen.
I know a few Marine characters who are pissed about her still. Yeah.
I can see why
You
they're
gotta
getting shot
find
at.
the right demo. Yeah, that's right. Look, if the NFL wants more movie content, I got a pitch for a movie about a stand-up comedian who always wanted to hook up with a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader. It's called Costaki Does Dallas.
I'd pay to see it.
So who's winning this Super Bowl, Chick? Did you say yet? Did you?
I'm not leaning either way, man. It's going to be. I hope it's a good one. I hope it's very, very close. But I don't know. I have no idea.
How about you, Costaki?
It's either the Eagles or Mahomes puts everybody on his back. I think the Eagles are the more complete team right now. But man, how do you bet against Patrick Mahomes? He's a wizard. So I don't know. I think it's a great matchup. I think it's the matchup that we all kind of wanted the most. I did. I think it's the two best teams, but we'll see.
Now, you guys are going to be going to Willie and Costaki going to Phoenix.
Oh, I'm so excited
for the some of the pre-Super Bowl festivities. So we'll look forward to you guys having some fun talking to some.
It's football nerd heaven. I can't wait.
Okay, now are you going to buy anything?
I occasionally buy something when I go to a thing like that.
I'll buy a pennant and a T-shirt and a hoodie and
a foam finger.
Nice fleece with that.
Yeah,
that's right.
Heck yeah.
Are you going to shave before you go?
I think I'm about done with this experiment.
Is it itchy?
That's not too bad.
You keep stroking it.
Yeah, it's hard to not touch it.
It is. Yeah.
We're talking about his beard, by the way. What does your soon-to-be ex-wife think about it?
Oh, she thinks it's all right. We haven't chatted a lot lately.
It's really none of her business, is it?
That's true. It's totally my decision.
Yeah.
It's so nice. I get to decide all the things. That's the best.
How about your daughters? Do they think it's weird or cool or?
The older one came in after not seeing me for about a week, and she was like, "Oh, you look so. It's not bad, but you look so different." I don't think she likes. It does definitely make me look older, so I don't mind that because I don't really care. But I'll probably shave her soon.
Okay, well, Costaki can be reached
for the big Super Bowl fun.
All pro lines on various social media platforms if you want to participate in the comedy extravaganza with Costaki. And once again, the next gig for Costaki, Tuesday in Mahomet, Illinois at Yellow & Company, then Wednesday, February 18th, Shelby, Indiana's Strand Theater, and then Thursday, it's Lexington, Kentucky's the Blue Stallion Brewing Company for a great show. Once again, that's Thursday, February 19th. Did I get those all right, Kostaki?
I think so.
Okay,
yeah.
Good. Now, we'll say goodbye. We'll talk to you in the Super Bowl here in a few weeks. In a week, I guess, actually, right?
Yeah, it's next week. I can't believe how soon it is.
Okay.
Cool. It's going to be fun. I'll see you soon, Willie.
See you, pal. We're going to have a lot of fun out there.
See you, man.